العالمين بارئ الخلائق أجمعين وصلى الله على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيب إله العالمين بالقاسم محمد اللهم صل على محمد على أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا اللهم صل على محمد. Out salawat, please. بعد فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى في كتابه المجيد وقوله الحق بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الله ولي الذين آمنوا يخرجهم من الظلمات إلى النور الذين كفروا أولياؤهم الطاغوت يخرجونهم من النور إلى الظلمات أولئك أصحاب النار هم فيها خالدون صدق الله العلي العظيم اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. Thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for bringing us together in this month of tragedy, month of sorrow, month of Muharram, the month of sacrifice and shahadat of the Prophet's family. We have been chosen to come to this place. We have been chosen to remember Imam Hussein, our own najat, for our own hidayat, our own awakening. If you can please ask someone to come, please, in the front, so I can listen. It's hard for me to turn all the way left and right. Please say the salawat. Because I speak to people when I can see them. Jazakallah, ahsantum. Please, thank you very much. Jazakallah. We're speaking about a very important subject in my understanding. There's a difference between Nizam Alawi and Nizam Yazidi and Nizam Sufyani. Difference between the systems of Imam Ali. What did Imam Ali want for the society? What kind of people he wanted to raise and bring up? What sort of individual he wanted? Like living under the government of Imam Ali, what kind of a person would you become? What would you likely to become? If you have a leader like Imam Ali, what is expected of you? On the opposite side, if you had a leader like Yazid ibn Muawiyah, what kind of a society would you have? If, for example, we don't have a leader like Imam Ali, what should we be careful of? Because if we have leaders like Yazid ibn Muawiyah in our times ruling over us, governments that are similar, aggressive, corrupt, and unjust governments, and we are living under Taghut, we are living under such governments, what are we dealing with? And how is this impacting us? And what are the challenges we have? And what should be our goal in life? How do we change ourselves? How do we protect ourselves? Because our aim is also a Nizam Alawi. Our aim, our goal also is to bring the government of Imam Ali, which is through Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salatu wasalam, right? Please recite salawat. Because that is our dream. Our dream government is a government of Imam Ali. At the end of time, after Imam al-Zaman alayhi salam comes, he will establish justice. Then Imam Hussein alayhi salam will come. Then Imam Ali will come and rule this world for a long time. This is our future. When we talk about the zuhur of Imam al-Mahdi, we talk about not just Imam al-Mahdi, we talk about Raj'at, we talk about return of Ahlul Bayt and ruling over this earth for millennium. For centuries, there will be peace on this earth. This is our future. In our Shia literature, this is what our hadith tells us. Our future, it could be any time. Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam can arrive anytime. It's not a subject that would put us in some kind of a illusion or something. It's not just a dream. It is something promised to happen. وعد الله الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات ليستخلفنهم في الأرض كما استخلف الذين من قبلهم. Allah will In al-arda yarithuha ibadiy salihun. There are many verses in Quran. This earth will be inherited by my righteous servants. Allah has promised it. Imam Mahdi will come for sure. That means Nizam al-Alawi will be established on this earth very soon. And it is I will request you to please control your children, take them either outside. It is your responsibility as father and mother. You sit with your child. If you bring your child to the center, please sit with your child or take him outside. Don't leave him to play. This is not a playground. Please say the salawat. I'll wait till there is silence. Salawat, please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. So, under the leadership of Imam Ali, we have the leader has expectations from the people. He is the murabbi. He's not just an administrator. In a secular government, the leader has been elected by the people or comes to power by hook or by crook or anyway, and his job is not to raise people according to Islamic principles. That is not what rulers come to power for generally. Rulers come to power to make money, make a fortune for themselves. Leaders come to power to control the people and achieve their own personal goals for their political party, for an elite class of people. That's what happened after Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed away. People who came to power, there was an elite group that used to rule even before Islam came. They came back to power. They want to protect their interests in the society. The whole idea was their own goals, not the Islamic goals. The idea was not to promote Quran. The idea was not to promote the prophetic lifestyle, let alone adopt his lifestyle. Ali, in all his life, he tried to follow the lifestyle of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's how he was. But those people came to power for other reasons. They changed the standards. They lowered the standards. They just removed from the society any traces of the Sunnah and the lifestyle of Holy Prophet, the simplicity, the humility, the service of the people, where he considered himself equal to anyone else. Remove that. So if we are looking for a government of Imam Ali, we need to know exactly how that government was, what kind of a society he was trying to establish, and he achieved to some degree. He did succeed in bringing reforms that he tried to. In the process, he got shaheed. He removed a lot of evils by coming to power. A lot of evils. After 25 years, Imam Ali was almost isolated. In some times, he was totally isolated. It is narrated that he would come home and Sayyidah Fatima Salamullah alayha, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa would ask him, I heard that people are not saying salam to you, Ali. Ali's response was, that's not the problem, that they are not saying salam to me. When I say salam to them, they don't even respond to me. Imagine the level of isolation. That they had created an environment where any association or link with Ali ibn Abi Talib was a crime. Even the name of Ali was a crime. If you named your son Ali, you would go to jail. Any association with Imam Ali was a crime. That was the climate. Imam Ali, however, because of his stand on his principles, that he did not forsake his principles. His primary principle was Quran and Rasulullah. And I am from Rasulullah, I am from Ahlul Bayt. Imam Ali said, I am from the Ahlul Bayt, Ashabul Kisa. I am the one chosen by Rasulullah. I have the Haqqul Khilafa. I have the right to become the Khalifa by virtue of the announcement of Holy Prophet. And my lifestyle is the lifestyle of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? So I will abide by that. He did not give up this principle. He did not give up this stand, but others lowered the principle. Said, no, you have to live by the principles, by the other principles that was set by first and second Khalifa. And Ali said, no, nothing doing. I will not accept that. So they said, no, you will, then you will be, they denied him Khilafat. Even when third Khalifa was being elected, Imam Ali was denied because he did not accept the first and second Khalifa. Because he accepted Rasulullah's lifestyle. He did not want to live by any other standard. So here's tonight I'm speaking a little bit about the zuhud of Imam Ali alayhi salam. First of all, what is zuhud? Zuhud is, the simplicity where you are not attached to this dunya. The verse of Holy Quran, Imam Ali explained himself this when he was asked about zuhud. What is the meaning of zuhud? He said, zuhud is that you don't rejoice at worldly things and you don't cry over loss of worldly things. That means if you are not worried about like loss, you are not worried about, for example, things you have lost all the time, worrying about, I didn't get this, I didn't get that. And you're not all the time excited about material things, right? You have really acquired the quality of zuhud in yourself. And Imam Ali alayhi salam, such beautiful words. He describes the Zahideen. See, you cannot understand something without visualizing it, without imagining in your mind, like, what are we talking about? He says, Inna Zahideen fit dunya. This is khutbah 113 in Nahjul Balagha. You will find it. Inna Zahideen fit dunya tabki qulubuhum in zahiku. He says, Zahideen are those whose hearts are crying while their faces are happy. In wa yashtaddu huznuhum wa in farihu. They because it's good ethics, good etiquettes to smile at people with people, to treat them nicely, to be happy with people, not go and see people with a sad face. Among the adab ijtimaiya, among the things that are considered good, is that everyone should have a smile on his face, right? So there are people whose smile is on their faces, but their hearts are sad because they see that they have not done enough for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They have not lived up to the expectations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They have maybe missed some obligations. They did not probably use their time wisely. There were mistakes in their life. They are all the time focused on their own shortcomings. Even if they have a smile on their faces. إِنِ اخْتَبَطُوا بِمَا رُزِقُوا وَيَكْسُرُوا مَقْتُهُمْ أَنفُسَهُمْ. They are blaming themselves, even if people are envy of them. People will make envy of them. The other meaning of this phrase is that even if while they are thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all the material things Allah has given them, but in their hearts, right, they are blaming themselves for their spiritual shortcomings. While they are thankful to Allah for feeding them, for giving them a house to live, for providing for their physical needs, worldly needs, but they are all the time considering themselves blameworthy and responsible for their shortcomings. Look how inside a person feels about himself. Does he think very highly of himself? Does he rejoice at his material achievements as if he's become a better person? It's because I drive a better car that makes me a better person. It's because I have a more luxurious living that makes me a better person. For example, if I have a higher office, public office, so if my business is running well, does that make me a better person? If I'm more prosperous, does that mean Allah loves me more? For example, my business is flourishing, my brother's business is going down, that means Allah hates him, he loves me? That is not the standard of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He does not show his likeness for someone or lack of likeness for someone by giving or taking away money from that person. That's not how Allah shows whether he loves someone or not, right? Please cite a salawat. Imam Ali is mentioning, this is from Khutbah 113, I'm mentioning. Imam Ali is saying that, these people, while, for example, they are thankful to Allah, or while, now it's the other translation of this word, that means others may be envy of them. Look at, for example, he looks nice. Or look at, for example, he is prosperous, he has a nice car, or he likes whatever, he has good education or whatever. Right? People will be saying that. But they are not proud of these material achievements. يَكْسُرُ مَقْتُهُمْ أَنفُسَهُمْ. They are constantly considering themselves at fault, not successful, not proud. Imam turns his attention to the listeners. He says, وَقَدْ غَابَ عَنْ قُلُوبِكُمْ ذِكْرُ الْآجَالِ. You have forgotten the remembrance of death. You don't remember death anymore. حَذَرَتْكُمْ كَوَاذِبُ الْآمَالِ. حَذَرَتْكُمْ, and the false ambitions have taken over your minds, your hearts. False ambitions, your dreams, your long dreams, have captured your attention. Not focused on death anymore. You're not taking death into account. You're just making plans after plans for future. You're not taking account of what if I don't live that long? For that reason, because you have put all your attention in worldly things, all your ambition, all your hope and dream has become worldly things. Worldly things, worldly success is all you care about. بكم من الآخرة. عاجلة أذهب بكم من الآجلة. Something and you want instant success. You want success now. You don't care about success at Akhirah anymore. You won't let go of some material things for the sake of Akhirah, for example. Well, that's the test. When we are talking about zuhud, whether we love this dunya over akhirat or we love akhirat over dunya, that's what zuhud is, right? Love akhirat over dunya or love dunya over akhirat. That's the test of it. The test comes to us every day. When we are tested with something we have lost in material way, or when we gain something in a material way, right? Does that make us overjoyed just because we made some material success? We feel like, okay, we've achieved our goal. I mean, Allah loves me and everything is fine. And then, no, that's not the case. Just because I make some extra money doesn't make me closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَإِنَّمَا أَنْتُمْ إِخْوَانٌ عَلَى دِينِ اللَّهِ. Then Imam Ali makes this beautiful point. He said, you all are brothers in the faith of Allah, in the religion of Allah. You all are brothers. In your Iman and your Islam is all the same. You're all part of the same family, right? Then why differences? Why you fight with each other? Why you argue with each other? What is the problem you have with each other? The only reason why you have differences with each other, human beings have differences, is because of khubthus sara'ir. Your inside is polluted. That's why people have. It's not about deen. It's so amazing. Today I got this video somewhere. Somebody sent me of Imam Khomeini. He said, in the time of Shah of Iran, well, he had really had some power. We can say he had power because he had palaces, he had a big military budget, and he had everything under his control. Okay, well, distanced from people, living in his own world and controlling the masses. He's speaking to a government official. Imam Khomeini is talking to a government official after revolution. He says, but you guys don't even have that power anymore. What are you fighting over? Talking with some probably government officials had some issues. He said, what are you fighting over? Now, after revolution has come, everything has changed. You are from the common masses. You are not even from the royal family of Pahlavi. You are a person, he was saying in Farsi, the Bakal sare kuche miye baradar salam. You are like one of them, his neighbor, you suddenly become a minister. What are you showing? What are you fighting over? What are you proud of? And Imam Khomeini says this. He says it's nothing but love of this dunya, is all this taswilat shaitan. He says it's all because of these farib karihoy shaitan. Iblis, shaitan is getting in our hearts and making us think bad about someone else. It's all the work of shaitan, who is in our ragha, in our veins and arteries, is running like blood in our bodies. Iblis. We should not be oblivious. We should not be ignorant of the fact that shaitan is working 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. He's not taking a day off. Making me feel, that I'm right. If anyone comes up to me and says it's your fault, all Zamin and Asaman becomes, no, I mean, what? What is my attitude? What is your attitude if someone points out a mistake to you? If I really am not deceiving myself, I would be humble and either apologize or take responsibility or correct it, or if really it's not my fault, then talk to people and figure it out. But our attitude in this dunya shows which side is our heart. Is heart is with dunya or heart is with akhirat? Please cite a salawat. So the problems people have with each other is not about deen. Deen is all the same. You believe in the same thing. If you have a problem with another mu'min brother or sister, it's not because of Islam. It's not because you are more mu'min than the other person. It's shaitan coming in between, causing you to confusing your situation with this other person. It's because of khubthus sara'ir, su'ul dhama'ir. Our conscience is not clear. We are hiding our own guilt sometimes. Look at you. Imam Ali is saying, look at you. You are not taking care of each other, not visiting each other that much. You are not caring, wishing well for each other. You are not giving to each other. You are not showing love to each other. If a person is zahid, he will have a lot of love for other people. If a person is not, uh, fallen in love with this dunya, he's not really hijacked, his heart has not been hijacked by hubbud dunya, this person will have a lot of love for people. He will not be criticizing every other person. He will not be finding faults with other people. Huh? Will not be looking for, okay, what's wrong with this guy? What's wrong with the work? Remembering someone's mistake after 20 years. You will not do that because you are not attached to this dunya. Why would you do that? If you are attached to akhirat, this dunya is a very short stay for you. Let me give you some short events from the life of Mawla al-Muttaqeen, Amir al-Mu'mineen, Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wassalam. Yeah, Ali, Ali, Ali. In Bihar al-Anwar, volume 67, beautiful, short stories, very beautiful. Suwaid ibn Ghafala, he says, when people did bay'at of Imam Ali, right, they gave their pledge of allegiance to Imam Mawla Ali alayhi salam. One day I came to see Mawla Ali. Suwaid says, I came to see Imam Ali. I saw that in a room, he was sitting in a room uh, on a piece of hasir. Hasir is like chatai in Urdu, we call it. Hasir. I don't know what you call it in English. Like a straw mat. Somebody said, oh yeah, straw mat. Good. So there was no furniture in the room, nothing at all. He was sitting on the ground on a straw mat, which was short, very small. He was just sitting over it. So I said, oh Ali, you have the Baitul Mal in your possession. Like you, there's no shortage of money. There's a lot of money under your control. There's no shortage of that. And how is it that in this house, in this room, you can't find anything more than a straw mat? How is it you can't find anything more than a small piece of chatai, hasir? Imam Ali, his response, Suwaid ibn Ghafala, Suwaid, a person who's intelligent and wise, and he's staying in a musafir khane, like a motel. Musafir khane, is something like a motel. A person who's staying is like, imagine the person is traveling and has to stay for a night in a musafir khane. What do you call musafir khane in Arabic? Hotel, funduk, like small funduk, on the way. Person who's staying that, right? Or like rental house. He's staying for a few days. Some days, He knows that very soon he'll have to move out. Like tomorrow, he's going to move on. This journey is continuing. He's just here for a night. He's not going to buy a lot of furniture. He's not going to spend a lot of money. He's not going to be wasteful. Imam Ali said, we have a very comfortable house where everything is provided for. We are sending everything to that house. Have a very comfortable abode, very comfortable, fully furnished, where everything is made available to us. And whatever we do in this world is for the sake of furnishing that house for ourselves, right? And very soon I will be heading to that house. He's saying that when he just became a Khalifa, like maybe the same day or the next, like yesterday, he became a Khalifa, sitting on the throne, and somebody says, well, Ali, now you have all the power and control, you as if you wanted it. Like anyone who become a Khalifa would usually be seen as a person who's achieved success, ultimate success. Okay, what more can you get? We're talking about an empire, a small government or city. We're talking about Mali now ruling some parts of Africa. Armies have reached some parts of Europe, Central Africa, Central Asia. All that is under the rule of Islam. Ali became the Khalifa. Look at his lifestyle. Look at how he was, and that means that I'm setting the example for the people. He has said it. I mentioned this earlier. The Imam Ali did not expect that we will be living like him. He said that you cannot copy me. So I'm not expecting you to become like me, sit on the floor, eat dried bread, and wear the kind of clothes that I do. Imam Ali used to say that I follow the lifestyle of Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. No, sallallahu. Look at the lifestyle of Maula Ali in the time of Rasulullah. He says that in one day a hungry man came to the masjid of Holy Prophet. He was very tired from travel and was very hungry. He came to Holy Prophet in the masjid and said, Ya Rasulullah, I'm very hungry. Imam Ali, Rasulullah sent someone to his own house. Azwaj, one of his wives, he said, go and find out if we have something to feed this guest. That person went and came back and said, your wife is saying we have nothing in the house, nothing to feed this guest. So Imam Ali, the Holy Prophet said to people who were sitting there, some ashab, people who were sitting there, the Holy Prophet said, who is willing to take this guest to his house? And a familiar voice came. Ya Rasulullah, I will make him my guest. Now you guess whose voice was that? The voice of Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala. Was always ahead of everyone else in doing the good. Always. So Imam Ali took this old man with him to his own house and he brought him to there was some space where, like a living room we have, like space where the guest would sit. So made him sit over there. Then he went inside to Fatima Salamullah alayha and asked Sayyidah Fatima, do we have some food in the house? And she said, with humility, sharmindagi, has to translate, very hard to translate some words in English. She said, sorry? Sharmindagi in Farsi, so English will be like feeling embarrassed in some way, shy, huh? Embarrassed not having anything to serve. She said that we don't have any food in the house. Now she would never complain to Mala Ali. This is something else. She never complained. You know the famous story where Imam Ali came and Imam Hassan and Hussein, their eyes had gone inside for hunger. 2-3 days they had not eaten. Imam Ali asked Fatima, why didn't you tell me that there's no food? The answer of Fatima was, Ali, my father told me never to ask you for something because maybe you are not able to provide me. And I don't want to make you feel embarrassed. That was the akhlaq of Fatima Zahra. So when he asked Fatima, do we have any food? She said, no, we don't. So then she said, hey, Abul Hassan, there is little bit of food enough for one person in the house. But I will prefer the guest over myself and my children. You can serve this little food that we have to the guest. Now watch this part carefully. Muhammad Islam said, put the children to sleep and bring the food. Now children have not eaten, that means. Fatima has not eaten. Ali is hungry too. And he says, them to sleep, bring the food over. So she went and put the children to sleep, and Imam Ali spread the sufra in the room where the guest was sitting, and so there was a lamp, small lamp. He did closer to the guest, and he himself, Imam Ali, sat in the dark end of the room, so the guest could not clearly see Imam Ali alayhi salam. And the light was near the guest. Then he brought the food and put it in front of the guest. Apparently, Imam Ali had an empty plate in front of him. So the person could not see that Imam Ali really doesn't have any food to eat, but he's posing like he's eating something. That guest had a full meal, right? Imam Ali acted like he was eating, but the person was so hungry, he couldn't even notice that Imam Ali really is not eating anything. He was the only one eating in the room. So he finished his food, and then Imam Ali made arrangements so he can sleep, and that person slept. And Imam Ali got up for his morning prayers, Fajr Salat. He woke him up and took him to the masjid. And when he got to the masjid, Rasulullah was standing at the door of the masjid with tears in his eyes. Rasulullah was standing there with tears in his eyes. Right? He said, as soon as Imam Ali got there, Rasulullah hugged him. Imam Ali is in his arms, right? And he said, Ya Abul Hasan, last night, those who dwell in the arsh of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those who are living around the arsh of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? They were all in awe. Ta'ajjub. They were all surprised, astonished at your actions. And that is and this verse of Quran Jibreel brought to me. وَيُؤْثِرُونَ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ وَلَوْ كَانَ بِهِمْ خَصَاصَةٌ. They prefer others over themselves, even while they are in need themselves. Right? This is the personality of Imam Ali, and did not change. Whether it was time of Rasulullah or during those 25 years, where he was busy serving the people, or unavailable when people needed him, despite the fact that his haqq was taken from him, despite what happened when they attacked his house, despite all the things that had gone wrong. Back, people come asking him to lead. He did not become a negative person complaining all the time. Hey, this was taken from me. I was this, you don't care. No complaints. Imam Ali is ready to serve as a very, productive, contributing member of the society. Look at his sense of responsibility, his moral courage, that he's able to control all his impulses, control all his personal desires to serve the religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Please recite a salawat. In the Ahwalat, this is from the book Hizar Yek Dostanas Zindagani Imam Ali, in the life of Mawla Ali alayhi salam, that one day Imam Ali had a khahish, a desire in his heart, have some meat, to eat what we call jigare kebab shude, like liver, like you call barbecue, like a little seekh kebab of a liver. That's something that came to his heart. Did not mention it to anyone, did not after it, did not want to get it, did not ask anyone anything. 1 year passed. 1 year passed until one day, when Imam Ali was fasting, right? That day he mentioned this to Imam Hassan alayhi salam. Imam Hassan, perhaps they had some money or something, so Imam Hassan was able to prepare that one piece of liver, then cooked it for Mawla Ali alayhi salam and brought it to Imam Ali. The time of iftar came, someone knocked the door. Sa'il, a needy person, came and knocked the door. And without even seeing the needy person or seeing his face or talking to him what he wants or he does not want. Imam Ali Sa'il must have said something, I'm in need of food, or must have said something. Imam Ali said immediately to Imam Hassan alayhi salam, love, my son, take this food and give it to this Sa'il. Right? Because I don't want the day of judgment that this verse would apply on me. Verse of Quran. See? Verse of Quran would apply on Ali ibn Abi Talib. وَيَوْمَ يُعْرَضُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا. The disbelievers will be sent to the hellfire and they will be told, أَذْهَبْتُمْ طَيِّبَاتِكُمْ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا فِي حَيَاتِكُمُ الدُّنْيَا. You wasted all your good actions in this dunya. Tayyibat which you were wanting in akhirat, you wasted, you utilized all your tayyibat in this dunya. You enjoyed the worldly life enough. فَالْيَوْمْ تُجْزَوْنَ عَذَابَ الْهُونِ. Allahu Akbar. How we understand this verse of Quran and how Imam Ali alayhi salam understands this verse of Quran. Look at the level of zuhud of Mawla Ali alayhi salam. After his body telling him that I need something, after 1 year, someone provides him and he gives it away. And his references, the Holy Quran says that I don't want to be. And then he because of your pride, بغير الحق وبما كنتم تسبقون. Then says that he doesn't want to be left behind, as if he always said Rasulullah, he always saw Rasulullah ahead of him, always had his eyes fixed on Rasulullah, how Rasulullah was. As if he had made a promise to Rasulullah that I will be at your same rank in Akhirat. Did not want to miss one single action of Rasulullah in his whole life. He did not want to be left behind on that caravan that he was to catch up with Rasulullah. He was walking on the steps of Rasulullah, just as he says in Khutbah Qasiyah, in beautiful sermon, the biggest sermon of Nahjul Balagha, Khutbah Qasiyah. Perhaps Imam delivered it from back of a camel. He says Rasulullah used to walk, I used to walk behind him like a baby camel walks behind his mother. That's how. Like putting his feet on the footprints of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Please cite a salawat. Allahumma salli. It is also narrated that Imam Ali, when he became the Khalifa, he went to the mimbar and he praised Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he said that by God, I did not receive any of the ghanaim of the wars, the bounties of war. When there was a war, there was a lot of money made in the war. It used to come to Medina. He said, I never got anything for myself. Have I taken anyone's right from him? He asked the people. Have you seen me ever taking anything from anyone, utilizing for myself? At that point, his brother Aqil got up. Apparently, Aqil was blind. As far as I remember in the history, Aqil had become blind, so he couldn't feed his large family. So he used to often come to Imam Ali asking for money. At one point, he thought that his brother is a Khalifa, so he'll give him something extra. And Imam Ali always said no. One day he came insisting, Imam Ali, apparently there was some lamp over there, the flame shining, and Imam Ali put this stick in his hand, a metal stick, something. He put it over it, and when it become red, hot, Imam Ali brought that close to Aqil's hand. And Aqil, he was blind, but he sensed the heat of that. He said, what, Ali, you want to burn my hand? He said, you cannot tolerate this heat and you want your brother to go to hellfire? By using public money? Giving you from the public money, you want me to go to hellfire? You can't even stand this little heat in this dunya? Side of salawat. So Aqil got up from that crowd. When Imam Ali asked him, have I misappropriated any money, public funds? Aqil got up and said, by God, you treat me. And he was saying in a manner like as if he's complaining. He said, Ali, you treat me and that black slave the same way. You treat me the same way as you treat that black slave in Medina. And Imam Ali alayhi salam said, sit down. To his brother, he said, sit down. Is there anyone else who could speak other than Aqil, other than my brother? Then Imam Ali alayhi salam said, what makes you any better than that black slave you're talking about? This is the response of Imam Ali. How you're saying that you're as if you're complaining, like you treat me like that black slave in Medina. Like what? How are you any better than that black slave in Medina? And the only thing that will make you better is that you are ahead of him in Islam. You are a better Muslim. Right? Because of your taqwa, because of your ajr and your thawab, you may become a better person. Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. If someone is more pious, he's better. Then Imam Ali said this beautiful thing at the end. He said, and this better, being better in akramakum indallah atqakum is not in this dunya. Even that will be known in akhirat. Just because someone prays more or has more taqwa should not think I am better than any other person. Because this is something to be decided in the hereafter. That is what Allah will decide, not me. I cannot decide that I am more pious than someone else. This is not for me to decide, and this is not going to be decided in dunya. In this dunya, we are all the same. The more pious, the more humble. Or zuhud. That means basically not expecting anything. This will take us probably another direction, but I just want to make a small reference that we sometimes feel disrespected, by someone else, is because we are expecting a lot of respect from everyone else. Why are we expecting so much respect from people all the time? We have very soft, very sensitive nerves in our brain. If someone will not show us inner respect, we will take it personally. Why is that so? If a person really respects himself, he will not be easily offended by other people. Even if someone, let's say, does not respect you, right? You respect yourself. You will not be easily offended by people. Shouldn't we respect ourselves? Being an Abdullah with all the ni'mat that Allah has given us. Barakallah ahsanul khaliqin. Allah praises himself for creating us. And he has, karamna bani Adam, he hamalnakum fil barri wal bahr. He has given us everything. He loves us so much. He has made every arrangement that we needed for our lives. He listens to our du'as. He answers everything that we need from him. Despite our wrongdoings, despite our sins, Allah cares for us. He knows our du'as. Even before we utter a single word, he knows about it. Shouldn't we respect ourselves then? We should have enough respect for ourselves. We should not bother us so much that someone doesn't show us that much respect. Because first of all, if you want really respect from other people, first of all, you should not expect it. But if you really want it, it's something to be earned. You don't demand people respect you by doing nothing. To serve people, you have to do something that will earn you some respect. It's not something you get for doing nothing. True respect is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts in the hearts of people because of your piety, because of your love of people, because of your humility, your compassion, because of your service to the people. May Allah make us all amongst such people, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us follow the footsteps of Mawla Ali alayhi salatu wasalam. Please cite a salawat. Among someone who was just like the image of Imam Ali was his daughter, Sayyida Zainab Kubra Salamullah. Zainab was just like Mawla Ali. After Karbala, when the caravan of Usara was brought into the Kufa and Zainab delivered her sermon, khutbah, people felt like Ali had come back. It was the voice and tone of Imam Ali alayhi salam. It was the style and the expression of Imam Ali alayhi salam. To such a degree that wherever Zainab spoke, people were reminded of Imam Ali alayhi salam. In the court of Ubaidullah bin Ziyad, Zainab spoke, people said he speaks like her father because he also rhymed like his expression was the same. How he structured his sentences. Zainab Kubra had the same style, same eloquence Mawla Ali alayhi salam, as he had. Something very special to this father and daughter. That sort of expression you don't find anywhere. Yes, you will find a lot of eloquence in the khutbah of Sayyidah Fatima Zahra, a lot of eloquence in the khutbah of all Aimma alayhi salatu wasalam. But there's something about very special about Imam Ali, and something that's similar to Imam Ali is in the khutbah of Zainab Kubra salamullah alayha. We recite a salawat. Sallallahu Muhammad wa ala. Now Zainab, when she got married, she put this condition, Abdullah ibn Jafar, that when my brother goes to Iraq, I will accompany him. Put it in the marriage contract. You will not stop me. And Abdullah ibn Jafar had agreed to that. So this was something known. The incident, the Ashura was known. Zainab Salamullah alayha, she, when the time came, Zainab asked her husband, he allowed her, obviously. He also said, I'm sick, so you cannot come. But as the caravan moved, Abdullah ibn Jafar also sent his two sons along. He said, because I cannot go, so take On and Muhammad with you on this journey. So they will be my fidai, you know, they will be my sacrifice. मेरे तरफ से वो जिहाद करेंगे, मेरी तरफ से वो कुर्बानी है. You take my sons with you, honor Muhammad. Imagine how Zainab raised her sons. The time she nursed her two sons with the love of Hussein ibn Ali. It is said somewhere, I don't know, maybe in Riwayat or some place, that a mother, when he's nursing her child, what she thinks in her mind, the children become like that, you know. When Zainab was nursing her two sons, Aun and Muhammad, her heart was full of the love of Hussein ibn Ali. So her two sons grew up with the love of Hussein ibn Ali all their lives. Their biggest goal in life was to be like Hussein ibn Ali. And they were not even probably close to 10 years old at that time, 10 or 11 years old. That was, one of them was probably less than 10 years old. And at the day of Ashura came, and everyone had gone and given his life, the Ashab Ansar of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. Finally, the time came when there was no one left to help Bani Hashim, help the family of Holy Prophet. Imam Hussain looks around, he only sees Ali al-Akbar, Abbas. It was a small army after all. They all had sacrificed themselves. Hur had gone, Muslim ibn Awsaja, Habib ibn Mazahir, Usumama Sadawi, and so many others. That find those names written in the, you know, the Ganj Shahidan in Karbala, in the riwayat in the ziyarat of Karbala, you will find those names in the riwayat. No one left now. Now, Honorable Muhammad they want to seek permission to go, and they are children still. Then he saw Ali al-Akbar as the first member of Bani Hashim to seek permission, and Imam Hussain lets him go. Imagine the condition of these two sons of Zainab, and they are brought up by Zainab. Brought up for Karbala. They are brought up and they were trained by Abbas ibn Ali at that young age. It is very difficult to ask Imam Hussain for permission. The relationship of Imam Hussain and Sayyidah Zainab, it was very close. How do you ask for permission? Qasim went. So many other youth of Bani Hashim, the sons of Aqil and others, they went one by one. Now is the time for the son of Jafar al-Tayyar, the sons of Zainab. So Zainab said, you go and ask. They come and ask Imam Hussain alayhi salam. Imam Hussain alayhi salam did not allow them, send them back to their mother. Finally, they said that Sayyidah Zainab, she came out and said, Mother, I don't want to be embarrassed in front of my mother on the day of Qiyamah. My sons, I have raised them for this day. It is very difficult for Imam Hussein alayhi salam to agree. This is a day when there is no one there. When they were given the permission, there was no armor that would fit their bodies. They were so young. The sword was so big that they could not tie it around their waist either. So they was put on their neck. And they wanted to look like grown-ups and sit on a horse and go out. When they came out, people said, "These are children. Hussein has no one left in his army." Who are they? The people said, "Well, these are sons of Zainab Kubra." I said, Zainab brought her sons, sent her sons in the battlefield. How much she loves her brother, how much she loves Hussein ibn Ali. Look at these. They were fighting so hard, they could not stand these two children. Finally, the army was able to split them from each other. They attacked them with stones. Imagine such a large army and two young boys try to fight their way. Many narrations about that. There were some really brave warriors who came from the other side and they were brought down. So even say that Aun and Muhammad made their way all the way to Furat. There were different narrations in history. And there's nothing to be surprised of. But finally they were brought down from their horses. And some narrations tell us that they became shaheed like Qasim. Horses went over their bodies. They were brutally killed when the bodies Imam Hussein went to the battlefield to pick up on. He could not leave Muhammad behind because he worried that if I leave the other one, they will come and behead him. So Imam Hussein had to carry both of them while Abbas was guarding Imam Hussein. Imam Hussein brought these two boys. Imam ये दो लाशें लेकर वापस हरम की तरफ तशरीफ लाए हैं. ज़ैनब खैमे से बाहर नहीं निकली. ज़ैनब को शर्मिंदगी थी. ज़ैनब नहीं चाहती थी आए नजरें मिलाए अपने भाई से, कहीं ऐसा ना हो हुसैन शर्मिंदा हो जाए अपने बहन के सामने. The narrations tell us that Imam Hussein, when they brought the bodies of Zainab's sons in front of the camp of Zainab, laid them to the ground, and Zainab was informed that your sons have come back. Zainab did not ask any questions. She came out. She cleared the sand between these two bodies, and if she put her forehead down on the ground, Shukran lillah. Thank you, Allah, for accepting the sacrifice from me. Zainab's all concern was her brother Hussein. All the way from there, the heads of Aun and Muhammad were on the lands in front of Zainab, but she was not worried about that. She was crying for the head of Hussein ibn Ali. आखिर जिंदान जो शाम का था वहां पहुंचे, जब सर वापस लौटाए गए जनाब ज़ैनब को, लोगों ने आके सबको अपने सर दिए गए शोहदा के. हर माँ ने आके अपने बच्चे का, अपने भाई, अपने बाप का सर लिया. दो सर और लाए गए. किसी ने कबूल नहीं किया. लोगों ने क्या इसकी माँ मर गई है क्या? ज़ैनब लोगों ने कहा नहीं, इसकी माँ जिंदा है. ज़ैनब ने कहा मैं इनकी माँ हूं. The caravan returned to Medina. Zainab did not never mourn for her sons. When she got home finally, Abdullah ibn Jafar could not recognize Zainab. Got home finally inside the house, and I went to the corner of the house where Honorable Muhammad used to pray. That is the first time Zainab's voice was heard in crying. Honorable Muhammad, your mother is here, but she misses you. Allah la'natullah ala al-qawm al-zalimin. سيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. والله بحق محمد وآل محمد عجل لوليك الفرج بجاه محمد وآله يا حسين.